Before the pandemic, when we used to visit malls, not hesitate to take elevators, or currently when we were placed on hold on the telephone, we frequently found ourselves listening to some sort of music. This music is often called Muzak, based on the Muzak Corporation, which first developed it. Muzak is a strange kind of music. It is played to create certain psychological moods. It can subconsciously induce shoppers to spend more time and more money at the malls. It can affect our moods in ways the purveyors wish to influence us. Muzak sounds like regular music, but it generally has no beginning, no middle, and no end. We hear it in the background and hardly pay attention to it. After hearing Muzak, we do not walk out whistling a tune we just heard. Indeed, we hardly remember having heard it. Real music is an art form. Muzak is a psychological device. Real music seeks to elevate us or move us spiritually or emotionally. Muzak seeks to generate background noise that seeks to manipulate us into thinking we have heard real music. Just as there is a vast difference between Muzak and music, there is a vast difference between real education and pseudo-education. Genuine teachers provide us with skills. More than that, they provide us with the ways of thinking on our own. Genuine teachers open our minds to new ideas, encourage us to work independently, stimulate creativity. On the other hand, there are teachers who are stale and boring, who talk at students rather than with students. There are teachers who are entertainers, who are more interested in being popular with students than with challenging and teaching them. They pretend to teach, but lack the content, vision, and imagination of real teachers. If we think back to the many teachers with whom we have studied, we can rejoice in those who have taught us and pushed us to our limit. But we can also remember those who provided educational Muzak, who blathered on, who lacked originality, who joked around rather than opening our minds. The difference between pseudo-education and genuine education is particularly problematic when it comes to religion. Real religious teachers not only teach us the do's and don'ts of Judaism, but more importantly, they teach us how to approach our holy texts and observances and the observance of Yirat Shamayim, a sense of Hashem's awesomeness. They provide us with a spiritual uplift. They expand our range of ideas and experiences. When we are in the presence of genuine religious teachers, we feel their authenticity and honesty, their idealism, their quest for truth, their innate humility. Muzak types of religious teachers give the external impression of teaching religion, but they lack content and genuineness. They teach religion by rote. They do not convey a grand religious vision, but are satisfied to present anecdotes and platitudes that do not inspire and do not allow us to grow or to think for ourselves. They preach about prayer, but do not take prayer too seriously themselves. They speak about Torah study, but their own study is shallow. They tell us to observe mitzvot, but lack true sincerity in their own religious convictions and behavior. In this week's Parshat, it describes the building of the Mishkan, the tabernacle. The Torah indicates that God chose Bezalel to head this construction project. Bezalel is described as a person, quote, endowed with divine spirit of skill, ability, and knowledge in every kind of craft, end quote. He was not only an inspired artist, but was gifted with the ability to teach others. A 19th century commentator noted that, quote, added to the amazing qualities with which God endowed Bezalel and Oholiab, Hashem also added the power of to teach building skills to the wise of heart. For there are many sages who have profound ideas in their hearts, but they are unable to explain them to others. The Torah testifies that Bezalel also had the power to teach the aspects of construction of the Mishkan to other wise people. And these wise people were then able to perform according to the instructions they received, end quote. Bezalel was a genuine artist who had the genuine talent to communicate his skills and visions to others. This is the mark of a special kind of genius, the ability to instruct, inspire, and empower. All of us who are parents and grandparents, and all others as well, are either conveyors of real Jewish education or pseudo-Jewish education. Through our own knowledge, dedication, and example, we teach, for better or for worse, how Judaism is to be lived. Authentic, honest, and humble religionists can communicate the beauty along with the inspired musical symphony of living a life dedicated to Jewish values. Careless, insincere, and egotistical people preach the music of Jewish living. It may sound like authentic Judaism, but it is flawed and unconvincing. Just as music is different from music, so genuine religious teaching is different from pseudo-religious teaching. It is the responsibility of all of us to recognize the genuine pathway to this authenticity. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Yashikar.
Yashakawa.
Shabbat